We are back with the First Lady of North Dakota, Catherine Burgum, to talk about her upcoming virtual event that aims to present resources to people who need it right now with her Recovery Reinvented. And I wanted to jump right back into the event because you mentioned you have some incredible speakers lined up for this year. Can you tell us some of the big names?
Yes. Well, let me tell you, every year we've had incredible speakers, but this year I'm really pleased to be able to share the information we have about a couple of really incredible speakers. First, Dr. Drew Pinsky. You know, Dr. Drew's been around in the media for a lot of years now. But, you know, a lot of people may not know that he's actually has a degree in addiction medicine. He was a director of a psychiatric facility. So, you know, he really understands the intersection between mental illness and addiction. And that's one of the topics that he's going to cover, which is so important. Now, I've gotten to know him over the last few years. And when I'm in California, we'll have coffee. And, you know, this is a guy who's super passionate about helping people that really struggle with behavioral health issues. So we're so grateful he's joining us. And then we have David Sheff, who wrote this book called A Beautiful Boy about 10 years ago, which became a movie about 2 years ago. And it's the story of his son, Nick, and his struggles with his addiction, and also, you know, how mental illness affected that. And so, you know, we're so excited David's going to join us. You know, a lot of people reach out to me and to the governor and to, you know, my team, and they're asking about resources to help their family. You know, it's parents, it's, you know, brothers, sisters, etc. And, you know, so when we have these speakers who really talk about how the disease has affected their family, it's super important. Then we have one more speaker who's incredible. Actually, we have two more, but one is Dr. DeLisi. He's with Hazel and Betty Ford. He's going to focus on ACEs, which stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. And that is a test that is taken to determine, you know, how to treat people in their when they are adults related to behavioral health issues. But there's so much more to ACEs that is so relevant right now. And we're going to talk a lot about that. And Dr. DeLisi will explain about that as well. And then we're going to lift up a local company called Solid Comfort, which has an incredible story about how they support recovery at work and how they support their employees.
Now, you worked closely with them, it sounds like. Can you tell us a little bit more as to how they created this recovery-friendly workplace?
Yes, well, you know, I was able to go to their location here in Fargo, and they are, you know, they build furniture for the hospitality industry. And 75% of their workforce has either been, you know, incarcerated or struggled with addiction. And so that's amazing in itself. But when I went to their location, I was able to meet with their employees, and they just provide a ton of resources, a ton of opportunity for these people that are getting out of the criminal justice system. They have something called Solid Start, and that is much more than an employee orientation. You know, it's also helping them to understand that, you know, they support their recovery. They can go to meetings if they need to during work. They have a truck on site at their location, which has, you know, furniture and things that people might need when they're setting up their place to live, you know. So they're just really supportive of recovery, and they have great relationships with parole officers and judges, which isn't typically a pipeline for companies that are hiring people. But because of that, they don't do any advertising, and they never have any open positions. There's a backlog of people wanting to work there. So it's really incredible what they're doing, and it's a great example for what other companies can do to support recovery at work. And I was fortunate enough to go to the White House a month ago. I was invited by the director of the Office of Drug Control Policy, Jim Carroll, and it included the Surgeon General and First Lady Melania Trump. And it was all about building recovery support at work. And I was able to lift up Solid Comfort at that meeting, but there were several other businesses that were doing the same thing related to building recovery support at work. So it's always fun to share those incredible North Dakota's stories on a national level.
I agree. That's incredible and so great what you're doing. Before we let you go, we have to find out, though, how can people register? When is this all happening?
Right. Well, it's next Wednesday, October 20, well, 2 days from now, October 28th, from 9 to 4. Go to recoveryreinvented.com to register. You have to register to access the event. We have over 1,800 people registered from around the world, like Singapore and other places. So it's going to be amazing, and we're so grateful that the governor can host this. So please join us.
I love it. Okay, we'll have to follow up with you after this Wednesday and see how it all goes. So get yourself signed up online. It is free. So great to visit with the First Lady of North Dakota, Catherine Burgum. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Stay with us. Coming up next, there are so many holidays that are coming up. You might be having a hard time keeping up with changing the decor in your house. We'll get some expert advice next.